So, well, welcome, Egondu. Thank you so much for joining us. We love having
Yes.
you here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes.
And before we get started, I just want to make a brief announcement to people who may be watching us. We are on the second to the last day of the 2023 GrantSummit Conference, and we're actually in the exhibit hall, which is very exciting. But you're going to be hearing people talking and breaking things down, and that is okay.
It's snack time. So
It's snack time. There's a run on popcorn, but we've got the real snack time here.
there you go. I love
With
it.
a
I love it.
wonderful, wonderful interview. So
Yes.
we're okay. We're just in a place filled with grant pros who want to be the best they can be.
Very good. So, the very first GPC exam was actually at a Grant Professional Association conference way back in 2007.
Right.
In fact, I sat for that exam back then. I remember the wedding music next door. I was
Oh,
part
no.
of that class, right? But since then, we have nearly 500 Grant Professional certified professionals.
It may be more, right?
Yes.
It's more than 500 by
Oh,
now.
have we
I
br-
know it's more than five.
Yeah.
Since I wrote the questions, more have been added. I love it. And we have them all across the United States, some in Canada and Puerto Rico as well. So it's just growing.
Yes.
And, there's some minimum requirements to sit for the exam. But there are a lot of people that they've met those requirements, but they might still be on the fence of, should I take the credential? What's it going to do for me? So let's give them a nice little shove over that line to take that exam. What advice do you have for folks about it?
Yes, so, especially with the Grants Professionals Credential, GPC, it's not a knowledge-based credential. It's really based on practice.
Yes.
So,
Right.
if you've been writing grants and you meet the eligibility criteria and you've been writing these grants, whether you're writing them just by yourself
Yeah.
or with a team, the reality is you are already a GPC. You just need to take that exam, and that's why we have over 90% of people passing the exam.
Yeah.
The eligibility is such that if you've been doing this for a long time, you would most likely pass the exam.
Yeah, you're right. And
Yeah.
I will tell you, I was a nervous wreck taking it the first time because it wasn't like you could ask somebody, like, how was it? But I thought, my mindset was, I'll take it. If I fail, then I'll figure out what to study and take it again. That was my game plan.
That's fair.
But you're right. I had been doing it long enough. A lot of the questions, I was like, hey, I've done that a million times. I know what the answer is because I practice that daily, right?
And
So-
that's so true. But also, think about the fact that it also shows your commitment to the profession.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. So, for people who's been doing this for a very long time, who is probably at the end of their career, it could be that getting this credential would be a life changer, right? You would have more opportunities, the doors would open. Because then you could do things that you never did before using the GPC credential. Because then people would look at you as a mentor.
Yeah.
Right.
In addition, also remember that it also increases your reputation in the sense that the ethics of an exam.
Right.
And because it's accredited, it also shows that third-party level of recognition
Yeah.
by a national group that has been recognized by the federal government for a very long time, and you become one of those many other professions
Yeah.
that have a valid accredited credential. It's not just a grants credential, it is an accredited credential.
No.
And for some people who are younger, just getting into the profession, it also could be an increase in income,
Yeah.
right? Some jobs
true.
would give you a higher salary,
Yeah.
and then in some jobs who don't, it opens an opportunity for you to engage in consulting, which more and more organizations, especially in big cities, are asking for credentials.
Yeah. Very true.
So those are some, and there are so many other benefits, right? To having a credential, the ethics of making sure that the public is protected,
Yeah.
that you are not getting someone who would say, I know how to write a grant, and then you pay them, and they either don't finish the grant or give you a product that is substandard.
Yeah.
And you
Sure.
have no recourse.
Yeah.
With the GPC credential, the public is protected because then they have to answer to the fact that they've already said, I'm going to play by these rules.
Yeah, there's a code of ethics we all
Yeah.
follow.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's well, and I found even like I've never had a client say, I must have someone with a GPC, but I have had clients ask me what it is.
What,
when
and
I-
it's a talking point, right,
Yes.
for talking
yeah,
about
and when I
the
explain,
profession.
it means I have a minimum of this. It means I follow these standards. I follow these code of ethics. They kind of sit up a little straight, like, oh, we really are hiring a professional.
Right.
So even though they didn't know they needed a GPC, I'm able to explain to them why they need a GPC.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that's really true. But also, the fact that it makes you keep up to date
Yes.
That's true.
with the profession. Because remember, you have to renew this credential every 3 years. So it
Yep.
keeps you on your toe. You have to know certain things to be able to
Absolutely.
to be able to renew your GPC.
Absolutely.
But thank you so very much for coming and helping folks who might be on the fence learn a little bit more about the advantages of getting their GPC.
Yeah,
There's so many parts to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me. But my last word to anybody who is on
Please.
the fence,
Please do.
please just take the exam. 95 to 96% of the people who do this exam do pass. Go do the exam. You already know the information.
Yeah, it's just a
And-
reaffirmation that
Yes.
you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And join the elite group. It's an elite group of GPCs.
It is.
There you go.
Oh, anytime I hear somebody got their GPC, my thing is always welcome to the club. Glad to have you. So it's a
And
group.
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining us. This